Hey, I'm Mike, this is Base. So if we jump into the app and create a fresh new notebook, we can start writing some SQL and query the blockchain. So the first thing that you might want to do is browse the schema, try to find the data that you're going after. We currently support these chains here, as well as some off-chain data like pricing, and then you also have a home schema or home database that you can put data into. So let's go ahead and stick with Ethereum. And if we want to glance at this blocks table quickly, we can get a glance at the table. We can flip over to transactions, do anything that you'd want here. You can also pin the schema so that it kind of lives alongside the notebook. And if we want to drop that back out. So let's go ahead and just query the blocks table. So Ethereum. So this comes back pretty quick. So it's about 2 milliseconds or 20 milliseconds. And if we want to say hit this over an API, it's 1 click away. So we can go ahead and click View API, and we auto-generate some Python code for you, but you can also hit it over curl. So let's go ahead and copy that Python code and jump into a Jupyter notebook. So if we run that, again, response is pretty quick. You also get some metadata, so column types, so integer, string, and if we wanted to pop this into a data frame, it's as simple as calling PD data frame. So let's do PD. And we have that same data set in a data frame. Another nice thing is parameters. So if we want to do something like where the block number is greater than some max block number, you can see that this is automatically updating the documentation to include those parameters. And if we set it at, say, 15 million and run that query again, now we can glance back at the results, see all the numbers are over 15 million. And from the API, same thing. So if we copy this again, paste it in, run it, now all the block numbers are over 15 million. So that's a quick glance at creating a cell. We can create multiple cells. So if we drop down and create another one here, we can actually reference this cell, this first cell from the second one. So if we give this a name like ETH blocks and run a select, and this type is going to be, instead of a value, a cell reference, and run this query again, and you can see now we're getting data from this first cell. We also have the ability to create live views, which are blazing fast views of any data set. So although most queries respond very quickly, if you have some more complicated logic, it may take a few seconds for the API to respond. And if you need that in, say, sub 50 milliseconds, live views are a great option. So say we wanted to take a look at the Avalanche transactions data set. So as T, and we want to limit that to 100. Now, obviously, this is going to come back pretty quickly anyway, kind of right out of the box. But if this was a more complicated query and we needed it to respond very quickly for our application, we can create a live view. So if we just click on here and do live view, let's actually give this a name first. So avx trans, and create a live view. Now this will automatically refresh when transactions are added to the underlying table. But if you need a manual refresh schedule, you can set that to whatever you want. So this is currently in seconds. So say we wanted this to refresh every 60 seconds. And the table name you can see is in your home directory or your home database. So if we add a new cell below, we can query this live view. So select star from that table name. And pretty quick, right? So it's less than a few milliseconds.